But after independence, in many countries, when you hear this chaos in many parts of Africa, it is on account of a weak state. A state without the pillars to support it. Without an army, without a political structure of organized politics, because you cannot have an army without a historic mission. All armies have a historic mission. The British Army was called the Imperial Army. Their mission was to conquer backward people and exploit them. That's why the head of the British Army was called CGIS, the Chief of the General Imperial Staff, an army of empire to conquer other people. That was their mission. And they were not hiding it. Now, the American army, you remember how it started. The American settlers rebelled against the British king and poured his tea in the ocean, Boston Tea Party. And their slogan was no taxation without representation. In other words, they were making middle class demands of democracy. So they had a political movement, a movement for democracy. Political. But that political movement needed an army to defend it. That's how you get the army of George Washington, the Continental Army. So the army of the Americans is to defend capitalism. The Red Army is an army of peasants and workers to defend the interests of those people. What are the African armies for? This is the problem we had here. We had Idi Amin. Idi Amin, that is a soldier. A soldier of what? What is your mission? I'm just soldier. Soldier. Without mission. This was the part of the crisis. So, a weak state, because you don't have a political movement in that country, which now creates for you a capable army and other structures. Mwalimu Nyerere, our elder, had to resolve Mwalimu Nyerere had to resolve the old Tanganyika rifles and create TPDF, Tanzanian People's Defense Forces. That's one of the reasons I'm sure Tanzania has been stable all this time, unlike all of us who had a lot of problems. So strategic problem number two after getting independence has been a weak state